Luke said go faster. I was like, oh, clip that. See you later.
I'll just put it through the wall. Sweet. Is it just one of you or two? That's it. Yeah, just about. Need a little bit more. You're in. Yep.
Cheers, mate.
Sweet.
I tend to go on jolly walks while I'm so make it work, I'll adjust to you, don't worry about it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yo.
Can I get you to say a few lines of dialogue, please?
1 second, my friend. Yes.
Test. Mark saying a few lines of dialogue. Just a few lines of dialogue.
Super.
Fantastic. Don't forget, I am a yeller.
Got William.
I reckon we go live when the players are walking out.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, wow, I'm going to start talking now, I reckon. And then have to talk about football again. Let's do diverse range of topics. Yeah, well.
Oh, that's a foul. Right, it's frustrating.
Yeah, it's good. Really exciting. So I've covered Blacktown Spartans. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good. Yeah. Who's your favourite guitar? Do you think the ceiling That's fair. Yeah, I got
How's it going, your boy?
Mark? A little bit more speech just so they can check out our band, please.
Yep, testing on your end. Testing on your end. Mark DePoldi here at Blacktown Football Park as we call the first round of the League One Women's season in 2026. Great to have you all joining us here this evening. Do we sound good? Are we loud enough? Are we not loud enough? Are we done?
Waiting to hear back.
Okay.
Great. Happy. Thank you.
Pretty hectic job you guys have.
Yeah, rest against time. Get online.
I know exactly how that feels. got Nita up here with me, so there'll be less commentary from me. So I'll just be listening to you guys, if anything. And then, yeah, we'll be missing the last 5 of coding, and then I'll code it while you guys are in halftime for me to run down to give you what you guys need, and I'll code the rest. Alright, hectic. Have a good game.
Very good evening to you all, and welcome to round 1 of semi-professional women's football around the beautiful state of New South Wales. My name is Marco De Poli, here to bring you coverage of the League 1 women's match of the round between the Blacktown Spartans and the visiting Inter Lions. Thanks so much for joining us here on the live stream this afternoon, now evening, as the two teams line up to the classic anthem of Hell's Bells from the Spartans here at their long-coveted home ground. Leave a like on the stream if you haven't already, as I read you through the 2 lineups of these fantastic and budding young football teams. Once again, thanks so much for joining us, and welcome to season 2026. Let us begin with the visitors, the away side, the Inter Lions. Amy Orfanidis starts in goal, her 2nd year at the club. It is a back 3, I've been told, that features brand new signing and Sydney FC part-time worker Abby Harrison in the number 4 jersey. Billy Anderson, on the contrary, is an 11-year servant of the club who starts next to another new signing in Poppy Davison. As we head into the midfield, it's today's brand new captain in the number 10 jersey, Chiara Kosha, who scored 4 goals last year from 22 starts. Ella Martins is in the number 8 jersey in her 2nd year at the club, formerly of Apia and Olympic, of course. And their top goal scorer from last year, also into her 2nd year at the club, one of the very few good signings from head coach John DiBiase, is, of course, Khani Charak, who scored 8 last year to lead the line for the Lions. Heba El Sadiq begins in the 17 jersey at the top of the midfield. And off to the other side of the wings is Isabella King, still awaiting for her first Inter Lions goal, but one of the quickest players that you will see out on the pitch this evening. It is a front 3, I should say front 2, that certainly frightens in the number 9 and the number 7 jersey respectively. It's another debut in the number 9 for Kate Geisen, who spent nearly 2 decades at the Bulls FC Academy before taking a couple of years off football due to a couple of long-standing injuries. She is back looking to break a nearly 1,000-day goal drought due to those injuries. And, of course, Jenny Hughes, the Welsh Wizard, who will start alongside Kate tonight. For the Blacktown Spartans, it is a Philippines youth and international representative that begins between the sticks, 21-year-old Alexis Tan in the number 1 jersey. Ella Morris is one of the ones who sustained the relegation a couple of years ago for the Spartans and stuck around and will now probably reap the rewards of this new and improved team. Diana Karna rejoined in the number 16 jersey alongside her best friend Maya Prostran from Camden Tigers after taking a hiatus to join their rival League One's side. Peyton Cry also returns to the club. This is her 7th year that she enters now across those 2 separate stints. She was, of course, at the now newly named Western City Rangers, alongside a couple of other players that you'll come to recognise who used to wear green as well. At right back, it's Holly Pender in the number 8 jersey, another one touching onto her 7th year in Spartans colours across 2 separate stints. At the base of the midfield, it will be 2 very, very composed ball players and breakers up of play. It's Helena Danielle, another one returning to the club, but this time from Marconi last year, and Shaden Jabor is another name who returns, and it's probably the most famous name out there, a state and also national level futsal representative for New South Wales, as well as one of the players and now captains who served so well at Western City Rangers during that promotion-winning season, now returning back to the club to lead the club where she fledged as a youngster, potentially back up to the big time. Ahead of them is Kitwala Makali, who returns after a year off of football that followed the relegation 2 years ago. It will also be a front line that consists of a 2-time promotion winner at 2 separate clubs, Gemma Woolley in the number 9 jersey. And to finish it off for the Blacktown Spartans as the kickoff does indeed approach, Alana Putitsa, who was one of the top scorers in the 20s last year, playing out at Hills. And you'll have to wait to see Ria Boateng make her new debut in orange, because Michaela Crouch will begin in the 17 jersey, having picked up 30 goals across her last 4 campaigns at Western City. Once again, my name is Marco DePoli. The League One women's season is underway, and thanks so much again for joining us as Kitwala Makali makes her first touches returning to football after more than a year out. It is an intriguing contest of 2 teams that have improved significantly in the last 2 years. You might even be able to say the same to that of the Spartans if you hark back to even their years when they were a first division side. My observation is that they have improved even since then. And the first throw-in of the season taken by the Inter-Lions. It was Hughes who got on that and sent it back. A first foray forward for the Blacktown Spartans here at home in front of a growing crowd. Plenty of fans are joining us just a couple of minutes after kickoff. First touch there for Kiara Kosha, wearing that very brightly coloured highlighter-like captain's armband. A long and searching ball over the top, and a very good ball indeed, but Diana Karana and Peyton Cry will work together to see that one all the way through without a touch to Alexis Tan, who as a result is able to pick it up and slow things down, and Spartans potentially for the first time to get their foot on the ball. No, in fact, Tam will send it right on the halfway line. Kosha with a composed touch straight away finds her strike force and potentially a first chance to potentially get a shot off on goal. Chadak into a dangerous area, but easy claimed by Tan, who didn't take it high, allowed it to bounce into her chest, and Makali picks it up here and intercepted really, really well there by Billy Anderson, who embodies everything good about the Inter-Lions. Ella Morris beaten to that one from the Spartans, but the wayward pass will be easy for Peyton Cry to deal with as Alexis Tan first time clears it away. Straight into Michaela Crouch, one of, it feels like, a million players out there making their debut. Lots of transition between these 2 teams, respectively. This is Ella Morris. Into Woolley. And a foul. The first one committed by Gemma Woolley. Couple of new signings / returning signings not available for either of these 2 sides. It looks like there's a bit of a hoodoo with the returners for both. Elif Erdogan, who signed from Hills, is unavailable, as is Chelsea Hendra. I'll interrupt myself because there's a chance early on, which was claimed by Tan, but Chelsea Hendra, who signed from Cleary University, is unavailable today, who is the friend of another woman who will deputise off the bench in Ambra Camaro, who will wear the 15 jersey, will the latter. Both signed having spent ample time overseas. First touching down into Australian shores, Amber, about 9 months ago, starting in Victoria. A budding young football coach who's still got the ability to play at a very high level. Crouch was interjected really well and cleared away by Interline's goalkeeper, but not only as far as Makali, who then loses the ball out with a loose touch. an attempt at trying to work their way out of the trouble with a triangle. And in the end, it's Woolley who picks up on the loose ball. And Gemma Woolley looking for a great goal on debut, perhaps. Not to be on that occasion. Dealt with really, really well. And Inter have survived a couple of early penetrative runs forward from Spartans attackers, although Crouch picks it up looking for Woolley and cleared away a bit more of a anywhere will do, if you like, from Abby Harrison that time. Morris, who has a real long throw on her. Crouch flicks it on with a glancing header. Gemmy Woolley is there into the box, but again the Inter Lions defence interjects. Cleared away, last touch off Spartans, but picked up by the Spartans through Morris. This is Woolley again. Everything happening down this right and middle channel at the moment. First touch of real note for Alana Putitsa, who was so lethal last year for Hills. And a throw-in taken towards Putitsa, who darts inside. It was won well there by Chadak. Up into the sky. It'll be a foot race with the ball bouncing once and now twice. And Diana Karana does well and brings Morris into it, who wants her keeper to come. There's a bit of a lacking communication there and a bit of a what on earth were you doing to each other, which is never a good sign. But the Spartans survive a scare. Ball back in play. The Inter Lions have got the chance to hold some possession in the defensive third of the Blacktown Spartans here at Blacktown Football Park. So when taken backwards towards Billy Anderson, snuffed out really well there by Michaela Crouch. Spartans being coached by not a new name, a returning one, Andrew Yanna, who of course had the reins of the Western City Rangers, the newly named Western City Rangers, formerly of course of Mount Druitt Town Rangers, was there for a long time, won promotion under his watchful eye as the boss, and has come back to a club that he loves. Good connection on the clearance, which was an attempt to find Michaela Crouch, but the dead ball line was always going to beat the young 20-year-old there. The throw in this will be for Billy Anderson. Threatening was Hughes. Dealt with well by Diana Karana, the former Camden Tigers representative, who made her first grade debut back in 2022 for the Blacktown Spartans as an NPL 1 club, of course, of which you can say for many of the players out there. Yet to probably see the highlight player, Shaden Jabor, get on the ball all too much, and perhaps that's why Spartans have struggled to keep it in the early moments of this game. As again, Davison sends it forward. This should bounce kindly for Cry, who's able to, in tandem with Jabor, shield that ball out. And it will be an Alexis Tangel kick to come. And a shoelace to tie in the process too. The time for players to jostle back to their positions. You can see two on the edge of the box ready to press hard. John de Biaze's side is certainly trying to catch the Spartans out, which they have within a couple of kicks, and then more comprehensively cleared away, that time into the stands by Jabor. Morris should be able to shield this one out again, which she does attempt to do, and does do expertly well. I'll go back to the rest of that injury list, by the way. So once again, it's for the Inter Lions, Elif Erdogan, another former Spartan, by the way, Chelsea Hendra and Ava Papangeli, the latter who joined the club from Olympic in the off-season, unavailable at the moment. Renee Juliaris, another returning Blacktown Spartan, is out till between June and July. Angelina Graish, somewhere between May and June. And Adelaide Brzezinski, another highlight signing in the off-season that really caught the attention of the public sphere, is out not because of injury, but because she's playing her trade stateside right now. Eight minutes into this one. Spartans right now with some territory and now a foray into the box through Woolley, but dealt with really well at the back there. At least for the time being. Eventually, Poppy Davison was able to clear in that number 16 jersey on her debut. Bouncing in the box, Woolley is threatening. Well won there by Abby Harrison and cleared away by Captain Kosha. And it's a foot race again, but Diana Karana is quick. A little touch off the top of the shoulder there, and potentially a chance with the goalkeeper out of position. Needs to cut back onto her right. Momentum kind of taken out of the move there, and Karana has won it really well. And she's beaten 2 with a dribble, and she sends it forward right past the midfield line of the Interlions. Woolley looked to play it quickly on her weaker left foot, and in the end, it was blocked off, and they recover just about into well done. Cleared right into the halfway line, and Karana involved again. Good touch by Alana Putitsa. But taken off of her. A little illegal shirt pull there, and instantly called by the referee as a foul. Good refereeing there as Kate Geisen was impeded. Referee Ella McGarity today, joined by Hayden Burns and Brendan O'Shea. Brendan O'Shea was Blacktown's local association most busy referee last year, playing, or I should say officiating, either in the middle or on the sidelines of over 250 games in 2025. So the AR on this near side underneath the camera is certainly an experienced one, and still a teenager too. Sent long by Alexis Tan. And a little touch off the rear side there, and Crouch on debut was well offside, unfortunately. And it will just be a free kick a couple of yards outside the 18-yard marking. A real punt away. Chadak is there, looking to flick it in behind with a bit of disguise behind her body language, but in the end it fooled her own teammates too, and Jenny Hughes nor Kate Geisen could get anywhere near that one, as Karana clears on her left expertly well to find Helena Danielle, and the diminutive midfielder picks it up but then loses it with a rare loose first touch. Woolley running directly at defences, looking for Putitsa. Back to Gemma Woolley here, who tees one up from distance and pulls it to the right of the right-hand side upright. It was close indeed. Amy Orphanidis probably wasn't going to be able to get to that one. That had just been a couple of inches, maybe a foot to the left of where it eventuated. It would have been asking some serious questions. Amy picked up a clean sheet against the Blacktown Spartans in 2025. One of those games was a 4-0 win for the Interlions, in which, of course, Khani Charak, who you will recognise on dribble as Hannah Charak, picked up a hat-trick. Oh, and a real chance here for Hughes, who's battling against 2 and takes a pot shot at goal and forces Tan into a good save. And the Philippines' young international got down really quick to handle the ball there. And in a flash clears it away, and consistently finding that halfway line. Charak picks it up. Also got a hat-trick in her last game of last season. But it looks like she's playing more of a facilitative role today. Let's see at what point she might get a chance to unleash her rip-roaring ability to find the back of the net. Great inverted run here by Crouch, but it was snuffed out well by Heba El Sadiq. Good turn there by Kitwala Makali. Great show of agility here as she returns to football today. This is Gemma Woolley now inside the box at an acute angle at goal. And in the end, it was snuffed out well by Abby Harrison, I do believe. Chadak turned into danger, but fortuitously gets it away. He receives it back off a fellow midfielder, and then a scuffed attempt at a through pass. Jabor picks it up there, and she loses it. Asks for the free kick from Ella McGarity, the referee. Isn't going to be rewarded. Taken long by Belinda Anderson. Nice passing by the Spartans here, but Crouch had no one in orange to aim for. Lovely footwork there by Ella Martins, who's been impressive so far with a couple of expert touches. Oh, this is really wonderful by Ella Martins. Can she go on? And Karana steps out of defence to step into the tackle. Sent in behind by El Sadiq, and she got her balance wrong there, and it's just going to scuff away and trickle out. Well, not for a goal kick, because it's picked up by Alexis Tan. That was the best moment of the game, the best show of quality of the season so far from Ella Martins, who is one of the more senior players, despite only being turning 24 this season. Oh, given away, or it looked like it was given away, but just about escaped the press of Kate Geisen there. Pender was the one who was forced to deal with that one before Putitsa got into an argy-bargy, which has resulted in a throw-in. Pender drops into centre-back, while I think Diana Karana will take the throw-in, so they prefer her ability to send it far, far away. Just 15 or so minutes into this one. Still deadlocked here at Blacktown Football Park. A flick on that finds Elena Danielle. Putitsa goes back to Danielle. Putitsa again. Twists, turns. Sends it right into the midsection there of Poppy Davison, who's then done really well to recover a second time too. Had some time off last year. Was not registered as a Football New South Wales semi-professional player from March 29 onwards. So this is a return to football for her in nearly a year. That's round 4 of last year since she has played at this level. Sent into the box by Karana, who now trudges back into position, picked up by McCarley, who has players behind her. Morris looks over both shoulders and has time to send this one out wide to Crouch, who's been exciting on her Spartans debut. But that was won with real composure and relative ease by Billy Anderson there. Gone towards Gemma Woolley. Scored an incredible goal here in a pre-season match against a local all-star group of Blacktown Women's Premier League players. So she's been scoring down this end of the pitch too in pre-season. Oh, a sliding challenge there. Missed the ball, got a lot of the player. Luckily, Crouch is okay. Falls with a bit of oomph on a surface that's unrelenting in terms of the scratches it leaves on your skin. And this will be Putitsa, who immediately trudges over from the left channel to the right of the 18-yard box and stands over the free kick, which you imagine will not be a direct shot at Amy Orphanidis. Putitsa, right-footed, a one-woman wall to beat. 2 hands raised. It's a good floating ball towards the back stick. Woolley was there, up in a dangerous area. Kosha should clear. Can she? It's fallen here to the Spartans, to Helena Danielle! And on her return in orange, she crashes home a loose ball after the Spartans make the most of a set piece. It's the first goal in a match of the round of the League One women's season, and it's scored by the brilliant Helena Danielle. She picked up 3 goals and 8 assists in all competitions last year, including the Sapphire Cup. And in round 1, she's already 33% of the way to trickling down last year's total. Into lines, looking to respond straight away. Eventually Jabor clears it. And Morris sends it dead as the Blacktown Spartans media team struggled to switch off Hell's Bells. Song that went longer for the celebration. Spartans don't want to play themselves into a jiffy here. And it was won there by Jenny Hughes. Sent away by Morris again. They have 2 defenders, the Spartans, that can really send that ball long, don't they? Karana and Morris. Helena Danielle certainly feeling good after that goal that she picked up. What a ball to find Crouch, who's just outside of the box now, cuts past one. Is she quick enough? Not enough to get around her oppressor, Billy Anderson. And this will be sent away by Orphanidis. Touch out of the sky by Jabor. But it goes square and out for a throw-in just past the halfway line. 19 minutes into this one, the Spartans find themselves up by a goal thanks to Helena Danielle. Morris might have been a hand involved there, but into keep it, turning into danger. And Ella McGarity gives away, well, the referee blows, I should say, for a free kick. Karana, about 10 yards away from the halfway line. A lot of Spartans players on the front line are requesting the ball to head here. Karana sends it into the middle channel, and it was cleared away there by Poppy Davison. Jabor out of position, wins it up high with the left foot, sends it towards Woolley, but well won there by Abby Harrison. Jabor recycles it and changes direction on a dime, and Spartans opt to recycle it on this occasion. They split it between the two into Lions pressing options, and they're able to foray forward. It falls to Kitwala Makali. Gemma Woolley is there too. Crouch involved. Well, unless it was Ella Morris who scored the opening goal of the season, as Gemma Woolley gets that touch a little wrong off of Peyton Cry's pass. Unless it was Ella Morris who picked up the first goal of the season for Spartans. Anybody out there, it was going to be a goal on their first or second debut for the club. Ella, the only one in the starting 11, as the free kick is called, against Inter Lions again. Ella is the only one in the starting 11 who was at the club last season. And that is what I like to call a summer clean-out. Temperature dropping pretty rapidly while we speak about the weather. Tongue-in-cheek, which makes for an easier time of playing football, that's for sure, as Karana will look to launch this one forward too. Identical to a couple of minutes ago over Putitsa. Cleared away once, cleared away twice. Hughes under control, and the former Watford debutant at age 18 was able to get it out of the sky. It's sent forward. And a good interjection by the Spartans defence, but realistically, Kate Geisen had no help. Crouch gives it away. Picked up by, of course, Khani Charak. But then given away, she needed more help. Well interjected there again by Billy Anderson, but Cry, former Western City Ranger, under no duress there, but puts her long-time teammate Jabor under a lot of duress, who then recovers a second time really well. Lovely work out wide by Heba El Sadiq, another one into her second year at Inter Lions, formerly of Bankstown. Joined midway through last season. She hasn't really even played a year's worth of games for the club. Did that ball go out? They're asking the question of the assistant referee on the far side. The answer was no. And Inter Lions, a couple of passes later and one interjection later, will get a throw for themselves. Heba El Sadiq, if she gets the ball in the box, be very wary of what she's capable of. Was part of a national winning side at the Futsal Championships last year. Given away in midfield there by El Sadiq, of all people, right on cue. Woolley is the only one leading the line, and the Spartans have slowed down their momentum entirely. In fact, they've given it away to Charak, who feeds it in behind, but only Spartans goalkeeper Alexis Tan there to do any cleaning up. A little bit rushed on several occasions. The Inter Lions midfield and front line has been. They have more time than they realise. Putitsa runs inverted. That's a good square run. Crouch back to the winger on the opposite sides, but had options ahead of both of them that perhaps she should have opted for. At least that's what a fan down below me thought. 24 minutes played in this one-goal game as Kosha goes back. Her goalkeeper, Orphanides. Made her first grade debut at 15 years old as a goalkeeper, did Amy Orphanidis. Oh, lovely touch there by Khani Charak. And an even better one there by Hughes. That's much better by Inter Lions. But look at how quick Diana Karana is there to recover and has enough time to divot past her oppressor and launches a potential counter-attack here. But then she gives it away to, of all people, Isabella King, who is searching for her first goal in Inter Lions. Sends this out wide towards El Sadiq, who might win a favourable bounce, but in the end rolled a bit too harshly off of her shin pads, and it goes out for an Alexis Tan goal kick. But that was much better by Inter Lions, and it only didn't eventuate in a better attacking opportunity because Diana Karana proved exactly why she was chased to return to the club. 26 minutes played, 1-0 to the home side. And although it may have been obvious if you looked at the names on paper, a vastly improved Spartans showing compared to what they displayed last year. Putitsa goes back to her captain Jabor. And the number 13 flicks it out wide with a Trivella to find Putitsa again, who then goes for her own outside of the boot pass, but it was picked out there by Poppy Davison in the 16 jersey. Jabor recycles it to find the one-time goal scorer, and H sends it in behind. Davison now trying to track the very rapid Alana Putitsa. 16 goals last year. Looking to establish herself as a more first-grade name in towards Woolley, who was threatening. It just went over her head, and Inter Lions have done so far enough to clear. Davison does just that. The Spartans applying the pressure. Also a late change or a dropout off of the Inter Lions bench. Last year's captain Zoe Katsionis, who is carrying an injury, I should say, not was, is carrying an injury, is opted to make way at the 11th hour before the team sheets were due, which has brought in Georgina Sarkissian, 23's top goal scorer for the club last year, to return onto the bench. That's a nice pass for Crouch from Woolley, and it was cleared away right onto the corner flag. And instead of going out for a corner, it will be a throw right by it, which Putitsa will take, but probably leave for Diana Karana. And from the left side of centre half, she's going to trudge forward, flick this up to her hands, and launch this into the box. Well, let's see what the Spartans can do from this. Something from the training ground, perhaps flicked on by Crouch, up into the air again. This is kind of how they scored their first goal of the season in Orphanidis. It fell into her hands. Perfect positioning off of Woolley's header towards goal. Davison sends it out wide. Putitsa read it really well. Didn't find Heba El Sadiq. And John DiBiase, the coach of the Inter Lions, of course, represented the club through the men's system for a number of years before taking the reins of this job a bit through last year. I should say the year prior, actually. Was the one who picked up the ball and gave it to one of his own players to take that throw in. Woolley turns towards goal. Finds Crouch. What can she do with the first time pass in towards Woolley again? That is a sensational bit of interplay from the Blacktown Spartans. And it's a real debutant who gets a maiden goal. Woolley with a curling finish past Orphanidis. And it nestles into the back of the net with aplomb. Gorgeous football from the home side. And that is exactly why Gemma Woolley has led the line for 2 treble-winning teams. First the Ravens in 22, then Hills last year. And Dr. Gemma gets her first in Spartans colours officially. Beautiful football by the Spartans, though, in the build-up. And Inter Lions have it all to do with a free kick some 25 out from the box. Wow, that music plays for a long time after the goal. So standing over it is the captain, the newly instated captain, Kiara Kosher picked up her picked up a goal in round 1 against Blacktown City across the pond in Seven Hills. Will she pick up a round 1 goal in 2026 against the Blacktown Spartans? Kosher goes direct and directly into the hands of Alexis Tan. Bit of French as Alexis Tan got her kick supposedly wrong, but it went straight to the foot of Crouch, who then sent it infield, and Helena Danielle then found Putitsa. But unfortunately, the offside flag was raised on the latter. Into Lions as we touch past the 1/3 mark of the game, which is 30 for you mathematicians. Need to make sure that they get into half-time with the scoreboard reading no worse than 2-0. Obviously, a goal would be ideal, but the game would basically be over at 3. Unless we get a 1 in 1,000 game. Crouch sends it low into the box, looking like it might find Woolley again! Pulled wide. She has a goal to her name. I'm sure she's hungry for another, but on that occasion, off balance on rotation. Spartans improving more and more into the game. Just want to highlight the work of Michaela Crouch amid Gemma Woolley's exceptional finish, granted. Lovely hold-up play to then play a first-time pass into her number 9, her striker. And that is the kind of link-up that could see Spartans finish way, way higher up the table this year. Chadak sends this out wide. Martins. Geisen is threatening and is beaten off the ball by 3 or 4 players in tandem, and Spartans just about cleared their lines right as Jenny Hughes was threatening. So Kosher, who took that free kick that was hit directly at goal, will now take this corner by the near side corner flag. And the captain sends a very good looking ball right in there, and it goes all the way across and is eventually cleared. There's a diving goalkeeper on the line, a player down in the box, but the ball not in the back of the net. And that's better set piece work by Interlions. Gorgeous cross in from the corner by Kosher. Karana will take the throw-in for the umpteenth time in the game. She picked up 1 goal last year from a 30-yard free kick for Camden. It is the long throw specialist and pacey centre-back today. Really good work by El Sadiq, and the futsal skills on full display there. The cross split 2 attackers in Interlions colours. Bang, and away by Alexis Tan. Well clear of the halfway line this time. Woolley competing there with it on debut, Abby Harrison. It's picked up here by Putitsa, who is always lively. Sends it infield towards Woolley, who tried to lay it off. The second goal scorer of the day, trying to find the first goal scorer of the day. And it's out for a throw. But guess who's going to come across to take this, I'm sure? Will Karana get on her bike and go halfway up the pitch again? No, it seems. This will be Holly Penders, who was the cousin of her captain, Shaden Jabor. Sends this outside of the box to Putitsa, battling bravely to keep the ball under duress. And that might just be a bit too far-fetched even for the live wire that is Alana Putitsa. 33 minutes ticks on by. Spartans 2 to Interlions 0. Good touch and pass up the line there by Davison, using all of her experience at a very high level. Stay composed while being pressed, but El Sadiq perhaps not on the same wavelength, but in the end they've come away with a goal kick. Inter. Orphanides has to be careful here. Helena Danielle leading the press at the moment. And the Spartans win it back up high. Inter might have to go against the grain here and play a goal kick long, because not for the first time this evening they've worked themselves into a fairly serious amount of danger, and now once again they're going to have to deal with a ball by Putica likely into the box. Jabor goes forward. Woolley is the obvious target. You would imagine the highest jumper and bravest header of the ball will have to target Gemma Woolley in the number 9. 2 hands raised for the second time by Putica. Oh, a really good looking ball in. Orphanides hit the crossbar, and then the captain wheels it away out for a goal kick. My word. I don't think that was actually what Alana Putica was trying to do there. But gee, it looked good. On replay, just below me here, I'll describe it to you. Direct shot of goal that ended up forcing Orphanides into a save where she pummeled it onto her own crossbar. So in the end, save of the highest order by Amy Orphanides. Oh, this is a real good chance. A really good chance to bring themselves back into contention, but of all people, Chadak. She overhit the pass. And Alexis Tan's job was made easier. Woolley is threatening. Good little nudge off the board. That was smart defending by Billy Anderson. She might have hurt herself in the process here, though. She's just bent over and gone half down, clutching at the midsection. Well, hopefully she's okay. No whistle blown either way by Ella McGarity, the centre referee today. Gemma Woolley asking for it, but she's all smiles. And then remembers that she has a pressing task to complete in this match. Either way, Interlions recycle it and start again. Orphanides. Nice work by Billy Anderson. Beaten to it. These 2 star players. Jabor was the first to win it, and then she gave it away. And she wins it back and gets past her oppressor, but in doing so gets a free kick that perhaps she didn't actually want to have called so urgently. Either way, Diana Karana has proved that she can launch a ball from inside of her own half to the edge of the 18-yard box. Now she's a couple of paces inside into Lions' half. So this might hit right in the penalty spot if she's consistent, which exactly it is. And it's gone right towards Woolley. And it's going to just roll kindly here for Inter Lions. And Isabella King into touch. Hughes with a slight show of frustration. Morris takes the throw off the chest of Crouch. Elena Danielle does well amid a slew of bodies. Real good tussle and hustle from both involved. It looks like Kate Geisen has dropped in to play a bit more of a facilitative role. So John DiBiase wants some more players in midfield and just wants Jenny Hughes to lead the line on her own. But Spartans, despite the changes, are going to keep their ascendancy in terms of momentum. Another corner to be delivered in. It'll be Putica, who hit the crossbar a couple of moments ago. And in a first half that's flown by on minute 38, if they get their third, the Blacktown Spartans, it'll be all over. 2 hands raised again. Last time she did that, she hit the crossbar. It's another really good ball in by the young'un, and eventually cleared away. Oh! Back to McCarley somehow. Twists and turns into danger, loses it. Finds its way to Karada, and it just seems like the Spartans are able to find the ball in the second phase, even when they lose it. Helena Danielle, so good and so strong at shielding. And she retains possession of the ball for Blacktown. Well dealt with there by Diana Karana. Well worked there by Penda. to find Crouch, who swapped wings with the corner taker, Putitsa. El Sadiq on the ball, runs into Penda, who was strong in her challenge. Then wins a header. And then of all people, Kiara Kosha is beaten to it, sent infield towards Woolley. Good touch out of her feet. It's Gemma Woolley from distance. It got a touch under the boot of, I believe, Abby Harrison, and that took a lot of the kick out of the ball. And Amy Orphanides will eventually pick it up under no sort of stress whatsoever and launches it past the halfway line. But Peyton Cry was there to deal with it. Oh, this is half an issue here. Alexis Tan out of her box, heads it away into Lions. Need to get something off while she's out of her box. Geisen threatening. Shaden Jabor in strong as Putitsa, having still kept her position on this right side of the attack, wins the ball. Then sent it to Jabor, who then sent it forward, and it was wayward. Harrison moves away from the central centre-back position to find Billy Anderson. Then her goalkeeper sends it out wide to Davison, and all three of this back three have just touched the ball before launching it forward towards Hughes. But Karana goes on a little juggle on the halfway line, then, of all people, gives it away. Half a chance brewing here. Hughes sends it to Charak onto her left-hand side. A weak pass, unfortunately. She's frustrated with herself. Putitsa had some time to judge her options there. Living a little dangerously, working herself into a bit of a kerfuffle here. She's got a sideline and the corner line around her, and then does well, really well by Billy Anderson actually, to win a throw-in from all of that. But again, Spartans can box here. 40 minutes passes on by. We're into the last 5 of this first half, which I can't imagine needs any time to be added on at all. How happy must Andrew Yenna be with what he's seen from his side in this first half? Cardona sends that forward towards Morris, the centre-back and right-back linking up in completely different areas of the pitch. Jabor, a bit further forward than she might be used to, goes back to Danielle, the match winner so far, should the scoreline stay this way. Penda with her left sends it out wide. Crouch, who got the assist for the second goal, cleared away by Kiara Kosha. Penda will take this throw. Danielle back to the throw-in taker. Delivered into the box. Woolley threatening. Putitsa is there. Back to goal. Lays it off for Shaden Jabor! A captain's contribution of the highest order, and another one on return. Shows exactly why she was headhunted by her coach. Jabor fires in a worm burner into the bottom left-hand corner of Orphanides' goal. And Jabor, who picked up a goal in pre-season as well, continues the hot streak. A goal-returning defensive midfielder. What more could you want? And Spartans, more importantly, are 3-zip to the good. Into Lions, they've been reduced to a whimper in this first half. Wow. Woolley is there. This could be 4 if Inter are not careful. Where is their midfield? Crouch taken off of her by Billy Anderson. Putitsa claims a really classy assist in that move too. She probably won't be able to claim the first goal of the day. There was a couple of touches and bounces before it found the right boot of a volleying Helena Danielle as Gemma Woolley is just inside the 6-yard box and Putitsa looking for a goal for herself. Jabor, surely she won't repeat the feat here. Oh, she has! That's even better than the first! Jabor has just slammed one into the opposite corner than she found a couple of seconds ago. And in 2 moments, in 2 minutes of absolute individual brilliance of the loftiest echelon, Jabor has just sent this game into the stratosphere. The Spartans cannot do no wrong here in round 1. What a finish! I don't know if she's ever connected with a ball that good before. That could not have been better placed into the bottom right-hand corner. And the match of the round is decided inside of 43 minutes. Thanks in large part to 11 orange jerseys out there, but in the last couple of seconds or so, in large part to Spartans captain wearing that number 13. Holy smoke, what a finish that was. What a way to end this first half for the Blacktown Spartans, who are running riot. The Lions are shell-shocked. They are not doing anything particularly poorly. They are just being beaten by a side who have not put a foot wrong when going forward. Inter have had chances down the other end of the pitch just moments ago, believe it or not, when the score was 2-0. Yes, that was moments ago. They had a chance with Alexis Tan out of her goal. Couldn't quite find the strike as Spartans' defence hurried into a recovery mode and did so well, then went forward and have now got 2 goals in a matter of moments to take this game way beyond contention. Crouch. Michaela Crouch, driven in low. Not finding an orange jersey. Woolley and Putitsa and Helena Danielle teeing up on and around the box. Jabor. It bounces back to her somehow because that's how this first half has felt. We are into added on time. The referee only adding any extra time because of the amount of celebrations the Spartans have had to whisk out. And they're probably very aware of how many minutes have passed on by. And they are just going to pass it between this triangle of centre-backs and goalkeeper to see this first half out. In a first half that has just sent shockwaves around the League One women's competition. My word. The opener to Helena Danielle was fortuitous, if not a tiny bit lucky, but then Gemma Woolley with the assist from Crouch before Shaden Jabor's brilliant brace in just 2 quick moments of ball play have taken this game out of contention for Inter Lions. And I'm going to repeat, they haven't done too much wrong, but Woolley's second and then Jabor's third and fourth were so good, you need to watch them twice and then twice over again. Halftime, Blacktown Spartans with 9 shots to 3, 6 of those taken on target, 4 converted. That is a serious, serious conversion rate. My name is Mark DePoli. I'll be back with you in about 12 minutes or so to dissect this first half in a little more detail and a little less hyperbole. And we'll be able to tell you if there are any subs that will enter the pitch, which you can imagine the Inter Lions might have to go to, depending on if they want to try and launch a comeback in this game or see it out respectfully. Until then, Spartans 4, Inter 0. long from restarting. Ella McGarity brings the ball right through the centre circle. So I'll let you buy into the hypotheticals. John DeBiase, of course, who is the coach of this Inter-Lions side, was out of the change rooms within about 7 minutes of that halftime whistle being blown, which means that for the last 7.5 to 8 or so, the Inter-Lions squad stayed in there and perhaps had some sorting out to do. Let's see how they come out of the blocks in the second half. Spartans spent about 3 seconds in the sheds. Barely enough time to reboot a Bluetooth speaker before they came back out here full of smiles after an all-guns blazing first half where they find themselves 4 goals to the good. My name is Marco De Poli. Thank you so much for joining us for this second half. Doesn't look like just yet changes are afoot, but again, John DeBiase was talking to his bench, which are right now not warming up, but did spend half-time moving the ball around about the pitch. Second half begins, and as Inter-Lions look to put some pressure straight away from an immediate press, it was easily dealt with by Ella Morris, who went right back with a clean sheet so far after 46 minutes. Has had a fine first half herself. And Crouch gave the ball away, and Inter put their foot on the ball for the first time of any real significance in the second half. Don't switch off the stream, but if you've got your phone handy, don't forget to go onto the Football New South Wales and League's social, and be sure to interact with all the content coming through on your screens this afternoon and this evening. Plenty of good coverage for the game happening here today. As Helena Danielle, who again was the game breaker on the 20th odd minute of this match, after finding Jabor, then wins a free kick. And how quickly can the Spartans get back into gear? Well, Putitsa has a free kick for those of you who've been watching from the first half, a bit to the left of exactly where Kiara Kosha had a pot shot at goal, and around the 30-minute mark, Putitsa takes a deep breath and strikes it. It's always looking like it's going over, and that it does. Bouncing well beyond the goal, behind it, which sends Amy Orfanidis on a run to collect the loose ball, and then she's alleviated by the spare making its way onto the pitch. The Spartans have all the tools in their bag and all the opportunity right now to practice whatever they want that maybe Andrew Yenna doesn't feel like he got out of his preseason. Do they want to, as I'll interrupt myself because there's no chance for Putitsa, who receives the ball right on the edge of the box before Abby Harrison steps in on debut and clears that one away. But Yenna's side can really practice anything from here. Does he want to see how his girls can keep their foot on the gas in the second half? Does he want to conserve energy and see if they can sit in and not... Oh, jeez, that would have hurt. Well, Jabor goes down and might be the first person to receive a caution today. Is the first person for her scything challenge, which put a real halt on Khani Chakra's forward run up the far side line, and she's still feeling the burn of rolling along this now 15-year-old turf at Blacktown Football Park, which is set to be resurfaced at the end of the calendar year, allegedly. So they'll have a free kick from, again, the same kind of position where Putitsa hit the bar early in the first half after Orfanidis was forced into a jumping save. It's Kosha who takes this, who's been good from set pieces all evening. And today's captain for Inter-Lions, well, if they're going to get back into this one, they need a kicker real soon. It is a good ball towards the front post, but it's cleared away. Well done by Ella Morris as Chakra sends that one back in, and it should be picked up by Putitsa, who's chasing it, because it will be into Stowe if they keep this ball from going out. It hasn't been kept from going out. And in the end, Inter will have a throw from one side of the channel to the other. And forward comes Heba El Sadiq, who takes it relatively quickly. Jabor involved again, needs to be careful as she's been shown the cheese already in this game. Heba picks it back up. Left-footed pass infield. Doing her best to deal with it, Martins, and she does well to body off her oppressors. It's a losing battle. Unfortunately, Jenny Hughes was always fighting on her own some there. Ball goes dead for a goal kick. 49 minutes played in the match so far. 4 minutes into the second half. After a first stanza where the Blacktown Spartans were nearly faultless. A slip on a rough old surface gives Inter Lions a chance to come forward here through Chodak. But her attempted pass infield was blocked off. So the sub is now made. It is in fact the number 8, Ella Martins, who goes off. I believe it to be a debut for a French visa holder, Amber Camaro. If it is the 15 jersey, which it is in fact her. Lovely ball into the box, but it was well read throughout the flight path by Alexis Tan, who unleashes a quick throw to her left to find Putitsa, who has 5 seconds to turn and burn. Pender here, who had a really composed first half, now gets to play the second half right underneath the camera, which is great for us, the audience. Half a chance for Crouch, picked up by Abby Harrison. Woolley is threatening as she hunts down her brace. The first touch for Carnado. And no duress for Diana Carona to worry about here whatsoever. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 touches as she makes some 30 yards up the pitch. Putitsa sends that one forward, but her radar switched off there. So Amber Carnado comes onto the pitch for her maiden Inter Lions appearance. Last represented Cleary University in Michigan, where she also coached at Liverpool International Academy, also in Michigan City. She's a UEFA B licensed coach, so she has an eye for a good pass and an eye on the tactics board at the same time. And absolutely no surprises that someone with that kind of tactical insight and acquisition already is something of a deep-lying midfielder, as they always tend to be. Best coaches tend to be sixes. Well, one there by Pender. She's probably seeing stars. Helena Danielle wins the ricochet and then goes down under the challenge and wins a free kick. Very easy decision for the referee Ella to make. Well, Carona will, on the balance of probability from what we've seen in the first half, launch this right onto the 18-yard box. That is exactly what she does. On the dime towards Woolley. Kitwala Makali involved. Putitsa tees one up from distance. Gets past one. Gets past the second. Woolley for her brace. And just about had it snuffed off of her. Makali tees one up. 1 goal in her last campaign. That was back in 2024. Should be equaling her best tally in round 1 of 2026. But that shot was blocked off before it got any kind of backswing or lift behind it. Big test here for Carnado, who is a visa import player, to show exactly what she's capable of. She could be about to receive the ball here. She doesn't. Haven't really been able to see her pick a long pass or anything of the sorts. Peyton Cry, her first mistake, and half a chance here for Inter, who do finally finish a chance that they make. Welcome back to goal scoring after 917 days for Kate Geisen. A long layoff from football, and on day 1 in Inter colours, she tucks in a nicely worked goal. Good show of composure. That's exactly why she spent so long out at Bulls Academy, formerly known as Northbridge. She's capable of taking a chance when she gets it, and we are at 4-1. Every single of the 5 goals have been scored down the right-hand side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, as that ball goes dead. And what does Andrew Yanna, the coach who's just had his 4-goal lead cut to 3, think about this? in minute 54. Sent out wide. Jenny Hughes beats Pender. Inter have a bit of a collective tail up here as Pender puts enough pressure for the number 7 Hughes to be forced off balance. Well, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you haven't turned your screens off 9 or so minutes into this second half, because there's still something of a contest here. I have written Inter Lions off. More than happy to be proven wrong. But a show of brilliance there by Geisen. A lovely clipped pass towards Putica, who takes a equally as competent touch. And a dart inside past El Sadiq goes down. Doesn't bring about the whistle from the referee. Didn't appeal too much either. But then jumps back up and takes it off Jenny Hughes. They need to work with their momentum here, the away side. DiBiase must be happy with that one. Cry steps out of position here to track this ball. Carnado gets a first real moment of significance to find another marquee player in Khani Charak. Sent out for a throw. Inter have a bit of ascendancy in the attacking third of the pitch. Spartans defensive third. Cleared away. Aren't able to credit any of the Inter Lions players with an assist for that goal, but I'm sure Geisen will be happy with all the plaudits going to her for that hard running and composed finish that she showed. Ooh, living a little dangerously past Carnado, and Woolley is there, and then a pot shot from distance was never really going to truffle Orvanides. And Amy claims that well. Cousins with, believe it or not, current Pohang Steeler and former Wanderer, Jonathan Asper-Protomedes. Greek-Aussie link-up here in Western Sydney. McCarley, composure show with the ball roll under the right foot. Sending it out wide to Michaela Crouch. Gives it away to Charak. Don't want to do that too many times. 57 minutes played in this one. 4-1 the score. Deficit shaved by a slightly hairy 25%. Strong work in recovery by Crouch. Ball into a hopeful area. Jenny Hughes gets a touch off. One there by Diana Karana, who got plenty of minutes as a first grader in NPL 1. I should just say NPL for the Blacktown Spartans before the relegation. Was at one point a first choice centre back. Throw in taken. It's going to bounce a couple times into the box. Alexis Tan asks her defender Karana to leave it. She doesn't. A bit of panic by the Spartans, perhaps. Charak is there. Jabor did well to not foul her. Cuts back. Living a little dangerously. Crouch goes infield. Good hustle there shown. Picked up here by the captain, Kosha. Another pot shot from distance, and it was going wide. It did look like it was going wide from the first moment, but it had a bit of swing in the air, didn't it? Don't mind that whatsoever. From Poppy Davison, who has clearly moved into a midfield position. So I think it's pretty factual to say, I'm not sure if the cameraman will be able to capture this, but perhaps if he's listening to me, they are certainly set up in a back four now into Lions. There's no such hint, which we certainly saw just then from the goal kick, but take my word for it if you didn't get the chance to see it. They are certainly set up in a back four. Advantage played. Actually, no need for an advantage. It wasn't a foul in the first place. All the way back to Orphanidis. Plays it left. I believe that to be Billy Anderson, who's slowed things down. So the back three of Anderson and Harrison and Davison, has become something of a two-woman centre-back and a deep-lying six, with Carnado, Captain Kosha ahead of her. And Charak 2. Ooh, a chance taken away from Jenny Hughes there by the referee's whistle for an impediment on Kimwala Makali. can't give, or have to give some credit to the coach, John DiBiase, for the sun comment. Really, really good looking ball in towards Woolley. It might bounce kindly for Crouch, who just could not get it under control as it moved away from her. Subs a foot for the Blacktown Spartans. Off goes Jabor, who might be the most brilliant player on the pitch, but is in fact number 6, who has been cautioned. And Michaela Crouch has an assist to her name on her Spartans debut. I would imagine that Maya Prostran has come onto the pitch. If it is the jersey which I think she should be wearing, I will confirm it to you in a moment. It also looks like Milena, better known as Millie Visser, has come onto the pitch as well. One of the fastest players out there. That does look like Millie Visser to me, who is in charge of the pre-game hype-up music for the Blacktown Spartans. Danielle with a really good left-footed ball in. So two-footed is Danielle. Woolley is still threatening and pulls it wide. More of the goal to aim at than not from that kind of position. That's a rare miss. And they can't restore that 4-goal cushion. The Spartans have done well to take the momentum out of the sails of the Inter Lions. Not been able to ride the wave and find another goal just yet. A flick-on header there by Inter Lions' only goal scorer so far. I would have bet my life on Helena Danielle picking that out of the sky, but of all people, she loses the ball. Picked up here by Karana, who's arguably the... Oh! That's a really poor challenge. Karana completely blindsided and brings about a yellow card for Jenny Hughes. And the former Blacktown City representative, who is, by the way, a participation officer at Football Australia, is going to have to tell the office about the yellow card she picked up on the weekend. Karana, who kicked the ball away at least 3/4 of a second before the contact came in, was not expecting that and hit the ground rather quite hard. So expect this right onto the edge of the box. Woolley is there, left-footed control, really, really nicely done. Couldn't quite get her shot off past 1, then 2. Putitsa, back to Woolley! A brace of braces for the Blacktown Spartans, and that 4-goal cushion is right back in their hands. Gemma Woolley has a second goal on her Spartans debut. And Dr. Gemma Aesthetics with a very aesthetically pleasing dribble, lay off, receive again, and finish. Well, the doctor has certainly given the Inter Lions something of a reading here today. And I think the competition watching this match right now, of which there'll be many other teams who are finishing up their game, including Blacktown City, who won today against, I believe it to be Sutherland, who picked up a 2-1 win. SD Raiders, forgive me, got my S's mixed up. Luckily for my friend Justin, whose finger's on the pulse slightly better than mine. Just slightly, Justin. I believe it was Visser who gave away the free kick. Oh! As Danielle nearly pounced on a goalkeeper who took her eye off the ball for just a moment. Visser picks it up, then gives it away, just coming off the bench, of course. Sent in behind by Hughes. Tripping over was Peyton Cry. Well won there by Karana, who actually, I was trying to say before she got fouled a couple of minutes ago, might be one of my picks for the player of the match, despite being a defender on a 5-goal day, although Woolley's brace might be hard to argue, especially after Shaden Jabor was taken off after being shown a yellow card and taken off right on the hour mark. Prostran goes down hard there. Helena Danielle, that's the obvious pass to play, but she's played it exceptionally well. Putitsa, also on her return to the club, finds the side netting, had 2 options to her right that never looked like she angled up a pass. And she picked the wrong corner to aim at. despite her 16 goals and 10 assists last year, predominantly across 23s/reserve grade. Couldn't find the composure she's shown so frequently for Hills last year. Here for the Spartans tonight. She'll take the second assist, or the first assist though, for Woolly's goal. Karana could put this right in the 6-yard box. And again, that is what she does. It bounces literally on the line. She is so consistent with that 50-odd yard free kick. It is going in the same spot, the same amount of distance every single time. Robotic repetitiveness. Oh, a little trip in back play by Charak, which has sent Kate Geisen out wide to slow down the momentum of the play to keep the ball alive. Oh, what a pass! That could prove to be Hughes! Another moment of exceptional quality, and I believe that was Canaro on debut. It was Amber Canaro who picked a gorgeous, incisive, bouncing pass. And Hughes, who was privy to it, just found it to be maybe an inch or two in front of her. But geez, the disguise and invention on that pass was world class. Fantastic work by Amber Canaro on debut. Welcome to football here in Australia, Amber. Changes of foot again, this time for the Inter-Lions. Off goes Poppy Davison. So perhaps they don't want her to see out the game at the base of the midfield, but she hasn't played football in nearly a year. Off went Kiara Kosha as well. So to me that looks like Anis Ismail has come onto the pitch. Here she is in the 18 jersey. Just 19 this year, Anis Ismail. Picked up a goal against the Spartans last season in the 23s edition of the match, which was subsequently followed by that 4-0 drubbing later on that evening against a much different looking Spartan side to this. And it was the late inclusion onto the bench, the number 24, Georgina Sarkissian, who's come on as well. The top scorer last year for Inter-Lions in the under-23s. Picked up 14 goals across all comps, but 12 specifically in 23s. 14 across all comps because that includes 2 in first grade. ...14 goals in 19 starts for Georgina Sarkissian. Only 21 this year. Excited to see what the wing wonder can do in the remaining parts of this second half. In a match where it looked like for a moment Inter might bring themselves back into at least contention. Not to be, though, with the 4-goal cushion restored by the home side Spartans. But let's see at least what Inter-Lions can do in patches tonight. Especially now with Canado, who's getting some minutes out there. You expect her to start in the coming days and weeks. Putitsa. Hard drive there to keep the pressure on El Sadiq, who's gone from right midfielder to right back come the second half and formation shift. Georgina Sarkisian, another one who picked up, like the substitute she entered the pitch with. She's involved right now with her first touch, who scored against the Spartans last year in the 23s game. Maya Prostran doing well to roll around 2 oppressors there. In comes Canado. Oh, great footwork too Pass out wide to Sarkisian. Subs linking up here. Back to Canado. Hasn't put a foot wrong in this match just yet. Nice touch infield by El Sadiq. Looking to find one of her best mates in Anis Ismail. Helena Danielle touches into space, then uses her left to send it out wide to Putitsa. Receiving it off her two-footed midfielder, number 8. Oh, lovely touch by Woolley, who's on a hat-trick. Outside of the box, and now into the box! And she's hurt her hand there in the tussle for the ball. And wins a corner for her efforts. Back to defend comes Kate Geisen, who has Inter Lions solitary goal today. 17 minutes played. A corner to be delivered in by Putitsa. Some height at the back stick for the Blacktown Spartans, and that's exactly where it goes. Geez, their set pieces have been good today. Woolley on a hat-trick. Danielle slows it down. Putitsa curling first-time effort. I reckon if she'd have taken a touch, she might have been better off. Had the space. That's a really, really tough finish on a pitch like this to get right. No matter. Still 5-1 to the good. Canado is beaten to it by Prostran. And now the Spartans are into the box. They have a 4v1 here. Woolley squares it to Helena Danielle. And the number 8 wearing 6 lashes a first-time shot over the bar. As mentioned, when she scored the opening goal of the day, only picked up 3 last year. I've known her to be more of a defensive-minded midfielder, but she's preferred at the top of it today. And 2 goals on an opening day of happiness for the Blacktown Spartans. Raised the blood pressure there, I'm sure, as Danielle sprawled it over the bar. Not so matter, though. As mentioned, all smiles, all round BFP. Well, unless you wear blue. More good interplay, but that time it was beaten away by Billy Anderson. Cutting inside was Millie Visser, of course, who's playing against her former club here today. Helena Danielle does well to find McCarley. This is a link-up between several 2006-born players here who have all come through the Spartans ranks before taking a year off, then returning. A lot of those girls out there were 16's grand final winners several years ago. Made their way into senior football as the old guard transitioned out at Blacktown Football Park. Pender punches it in towards Putitsa from the throw. Danielle has had an excellent last 5 minutes. Another cross to come in off of her left. Left foot, right foot, does not matter. Both sides, quality. Both pegs, fantastic. And she wins another Spartan set piece. 73 minutes about to tick on by. Putitsa takes it again. Spartans came close from the last corner. How many goals can they end up with today? That's gone in the exact same spot as last time. Woolley got the header to it. And then sent it wide. A brace for Jabor. A brace for Woolley. And a goal for Helena Danielle. Sent away with oomph, right onto the halfway line. Lovely touch off the chest there by Geisen, who's had a more than half decent game for the Inter Lions. Sent away by Alexis Tan. Won't get a clean sheet on debut, but will certainly get 3 points for her side. A couple of saves when the game was right hanging in the balance a bit earlier on. Might go underappreciated today by some, but not by us up here. Heba El Sadiq only throws it as far as Kitwala Makali in an orange jersey. Carnado finds another sub in Ismail. And Davidson sends that one wide. Ball delivered in towards Geisen. Sarkissian is threatening and lurking, putting Penta under all kinds of pressure. She wins it back. Sends it towards Charak, who's trying to fashion an opportunity. Goes down, clutching the right knee. Probably a bit of scraping more than an injury concern. And there's a little clap there from the coach, John DiBiase, who is using these down moments to applaud the good things that he sees in this game. It is 1-1 if you like in the second half. It's been a better second half showing. Now, I wonder how drastic of a system change a back three to a back four in the second half is. Either way, it's tightened them up despite the Spartans' changes in personnel. Clear push on the back of Georgina Sarkissian there. One woman wall, that being Putitsa. Delivered in. Only as far as an orange jersey. Carnaro picks up the loose ball as it was cleared away. Doesn't beat Prostran and Woolley in a duo there. Woolley turning. Lovely work by Gemma Woolley. Threaded the needle unsuccessfully there. Sent in behind by Jenny Hughes, who's played all across this front line here tonight. 76 minutes played in a game that's absolutely powered on by. It felt like we've only really been here for half an hour, but somehow we're in the dying stages already. Orphanitis. Short to Abby Harrison, who's gone from being a volunteer at Sydney FC to now being their fan engagement officer across 7 years, starting out in high school to now, of course, postgraduate, which is a fantastic achievement for the young defender here on debut for Interlions. A little push by Canaro there up against Helena Danielle. A bit of fire shown by the new Interlions representative, who felt she was being hounded a little too harshly there. Delivered in and cleared away by Peyton Cry. A loose shot comes in from distance from Anis Ismail. Hasn't scored a first grade goal yet since making her way from local football playing for Bonnyrigg Sports Club to then joining the club that she's currently at halfway through last year, once she'd made the jump from Bonnyrigg to Bankstown. Here she is, she picks it up again, but it's taken off of her by Putitsa. Canado finds El Sadiq. Back to Amber Canado. Beaten off the ball, and the referee got in the way of Canado, who is showing her frustrations quite actionably. Ball in behind by Putitsa towards Woolley, who's on a hat-trick on her maiden Spartans appearance, but well dealt with by Inter. Might be a little bit too trigger happy. They give it away with Billy Anderson out of position, and Putitsa cuts inside onto her right, delivers a cross-field switch towards Milena Vissa, who would love a goal here against her former club, but cleared away there by Abby Harrison, who joined from Sutherland Strikers in the off-season. 78 minutes ticks on by. A yellow card distributed out to Abby Harrison. Well, the last thing Inter want to walk away from what is technically the suburb of Rudy Hill at Blacktown Football Park is a player suspended for next week. Cutting back inside was Ella Morris, capable at either end of fullback. Helena Danielle has somehow rolled around Canado, who's really showing some frustrations with a late challenge coming in there. Woolley will have to snap this across goal if she's to find a goal. And in the end, it was overhit the pass to find her, and out for a goal kick into Lions. A mixed pre-season, a draw against Gleysville Ravens, who of course are playing in the above tier. Was followed up by a loss to Canberra Olympic, who they hosted. Then they beat Connells Point Rovers FC, which are of course a local, not semi-professional club. They beat them 5-2 on the road. Up next for them, 6:35 next Sunday, they host Camden Tigers, who will be watching this with intent to cut them open next week, I'm sure. Hello to you all watching along. As Putitsa puts in another really deadly looking ball. Somehow stays out. Carnado sends it upwards rather than outwards. First time volley clearance away was really, really good there by Sarkissian, to be fair. It's taken the danger right out of the moment. Charak, she lost out. Cry, pushed in the back by Hughes, who's on the yellow, has to be careful. And cleaned up by the stand-in libero. That is Diana Carona. Inter faithful watching along, the remaining under-23s players applauding a good bit of hustle there. Off goes Alana Putitsa, who claims an assist, of course, for Woolley's brace goal. It is going to be a return to the match of the round, and also a Blacktown Spartans debut for the ever lightning and constantly dangerous Rita Boateng. And she dons the number 7, an iconic number across the world of football, suited perfectly for a tricky and explosive winger like her. Boateng coming off the back of also having won promotions 2 times throughout her decorated career. Welcome to football in 2026 for Rita. Didn't have to go too far from Western City Rangers to find the home ground of Blacktown Football Park. Oh, big bumper there off the ball by Morris. Fantastically well done. Visser sends it infield. Hasn't had the greatest couple of touches off the bench since coming on. Still plenty of time in the game to have a memorable moment in round 1. Helena Danielle, who's had so many of them. Prostran. Visser was making the run in behind. And one thing she is certainly is quick. Is she quicker than Orphanitas? And even Millie Visser, who might be the quickest player in the comp, didn't get there first. Slightly overhit from the fellow sub, Maya Prostran. Loose touch in midfield, and here is Rita. 7 or 8 touches as she quickly gets the ball out of her feet and sends it out wide. She's certainly feeling a debut maiden Spartans goal. And she went from one wing to the other. 6 goals last year. Might not seem like enough of justification for me to harp on as much as I have, but you've got to remember that was in the NPL, of course. Woolley is threatening. She's past the keeper with a hat-trick in sight. But in the end, the side netting. My word, a moment of madness at the back by Inter Lions. And John DiBiase takes his eye off the game for a moment to keep his blood pressure low, I'm sure. They're sticking to the plan here, Inter. They haven't got many options. Forced to pump it long. Ella Morris finding Milena Vitsa. Mia Michalitzi's come onto the pitch as well in the number 23 jersey. Likely to be the final sub we see from the Inter Lions. Michalitzi turns 20 this year. Plied her trade as a youngster at Sydney Olympic. And is, of course, the 23's captain. Not arriving to this game fresh. Spartans eventuating as 1-0 winners in the 23's match that kicked off at 3 p.m. Easily tracked back there by Visser, who swapped roles with Morris there. 84 minutes played, Spartans within minutes. of what you'd have to say is the perfect start in round one. Funnily enough, and what seems to be a common theme, Mia Mikulitsi, who just came onto the pitch, her only goal last season was in round 4, and round 4 was against the Blacktown Spartans. Spartans who travel to the South Coast Flame next week, 5 p.m. It's Ian McLennan Oval. That game will be on Saturday, not the regular Sunday. Inside the final 5 minutes. Ismail. Searching ball forward there by Isabella King. Not finding anyone in her own jerseys, and Woolley is on a 1v1 here with Abby Harrison. She's getting closer to the box. She squares it to Rita Boateng! It took just one moment, and Rita Boateng has a goal in Spartans orange within moments of coming on. Being returned with caution on ice. A final 10-minute stint as she harks back to the halfway line a little gingerly. But even while not in tip-top shape, she produces a fine finish into the bottom left-hand corner. And the Blacktown Spartans are going to end this second half and this game with a host of goals from their new off-season signings and a real threatening point at the finger to the rest of the competition. There were eyes on the rest of this Inter-Lion side where people around the gaff said, yeah, they have improved. Obviously, everybody knew Spartans were going to improve with the signings they brought in, but did they expect this level of round one performance? The question will now be over the next half a year is, can they sustain this level of performance? Can they keep personnel on the pitch? Can they finish as efficiently as they have here today? Gemma Woolley doesn't get a hat-trick unless she changes that in the next couple of moments of this game. Oh, my word. A save onto the crossbar by the way, Ella Stewart, who's been subbed on for the final couple of minutes, as likely an ode to her 4 years of service to the club amidst the downturn in form a couple of years ago. On the whole, she receives some first-grade match of the round minutes and produces a really, really fine save. Look at this on replay. Geisen was looking for her respective brace. Mikulitsi leaves this one. Trudging across, I believe, is Isabella King in the number 5 jersey, with inside 180 seconds to go. Left-footed ball in. It's a really threatening ball. It's been allowed to bounce 2 or 3 times before eventually being called as a goal kick. And, well, Inter-Lions have certainly got a pathway to jumping on the score sheet throughout this season if their ball into the box remains of the quality which they've shown in parts tonight. Another Spartans come onto the pitch as well. Elizabeth Hart has come onto the pitch in the 35 jersey. An imposing centre-back. Rita Boateng re-enters League One women's football with a bang. That's the final goal likely in this game. Inside 2 to go. Picked out well by Kitwala Makali, who of course played pre-season and has been able to train, but this is her first football match on record since 2024. Her last appearance in a football jersey that was recorded was the final day where Spartans confirmed their fate, dropping down to this division. She took a year off. Others went elsewhere. Inside the last minute now. I doubt that Katie McGarity will, I should say Ella McGarity, forgive me, will add any time on the referee. Woolley, as I mentioned, won't get a hat-trick today, but got 2 goals and an assist. So gets a hat-trick of goal contributions on her Blacktown Spartans debut. Andrew Yenna's side have been next to perfect here this evening. 30 seconds left to go on a real healthy 6-1 day. A chance to add the cherry on the icing on a very sweet tasting cake. Boateng. That one might go out. And that just might be the last chance, or even the last moment in this game. We'll look at the watch by McGarity, the referee. We are into added on time as we speak. Sent away by Inter. Finding Geisen, who's been arguably their player of the match. Genuinely has had a really, really good game on a losing day. Wins a free kick. Helena Danielle apologises to both referee and Kate Geisen. Well, they're going to have to hang her hat, I should say their hats, on Geisen, continuing the form and the level of performance she's shown tonight. Delivered as far as she can kick with tired round 1 legs. Boateng. Locked off there by El Sadiq. 1 minute of stoppage time passes on by. A lovely turn and roll by Danielle, who's then tripped up. Boateng receives. Makali. Karona square to her new centre-back partner, Ha. And Ha goes back to Karona. Boateng sending it in behind. Woolley, well, she could still get a hat-trick here, perhaps. It's Gemma Woolley who attempted to cut back, but it was well read there by Billy Anderson. The referee's going to allow this to go on, or is she? And there is the full-time whistle on what might be a damning day for some visitors who have a long trip back to Majors Bay Reserve. But wow, what a happy one for the home side. A lot of returning superstars have a very, very happy homecoming. A 6-1 thrashing on a day where the Blacktown Spartans could do no wrong. And as mentioned, have sent shockwaves and a sign of intent. Andrew Yenna has made it public that this is a multi-year plan to return to the pinnacle of state football in this part of Australia. But if performances maintain at the level of which they've shown, to the point where they can even afford to rotate goalkeepers to keep minutes hot between sticks, then my word, somebody needs to be ready to stop them. A very, very impressive performance. If we hark our minds all the way back, it was Helena Danielle who opened the scoring after being the fox in the box. It was then Gemma Woolley who received from Michaela Crouch to grab her first assist on debut. And Woolley tucked in arguably the goal of the day. That was until Shaden Jabor scored one exceptional goal that was then followed up by a goal of the season contender before being shown to the bench after being cautioned at the end of the first half. And as we headed into the second, it became 4-1 when Kate Geisen got a return to football goal after 917 days out of the game of pure individual brilliance. And then Gemma Woolley made it a brace of braces after receiving from Putitsa to make it 5-1 before the final goal was also another one that brought about a very happy maiden debut. Rita Boateng off of Woolley, who ends the day with 3 goal contributions, Boateng for her first goal in League One Women's since a promotion season in 2024 where she scored 22 for the former Mount Druitt Town Rangers come Western City Rangers. 1 for Danielle, 2 for Woolley, 2 for Captain Jabor, 1 for Geisen, and then Boateng on debut. Wow. Take note, League One Women's, and do some searching, I'm sure, MPL New South Wales teams. What a fantastic day for the Blacktown Spartans, and thanks so much for joining me here. My name is Mark DePaul. It's been a pleasure to have you. My best wishes and commiserations go to the Inter Lions squad, who were good in parts today, but ultimately not good enough on the whole and the balance of the game. Thanks so much for joining us once again. Safe travels home to those who are tuning in from around the ground, and we will see you next time. Good night.